turn your engine off. Pull up the handbrake, pull on the bonnet release lever and open the bonnet. Open the brake fluid reservoir. In order to change the brake pads on your vehicle, you will have to raise the front of the car and take off the wheels. This will provide you with full access to the required area. Loosen the stud bolts on the front wheels and raise the front of the vehicle. Once you have put in the two axle stands, you will then be able to take off the wheels. Don't forget to slide them under the vehicle. We strongly suggest watching the tutorial, raising your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. Turn the disc outwards. This will facilitate the following steps. Insert a flathead screwdriver to the outer extremity of the oblong hole, located on the front of the brake caliper. Lift it off using the screwdriver as a lever by pulling it towards you. This will then push the piston in. Using a 13mm socket wrench, unscrew the lower caliper mounting bolt. Sometimes you have to stop the lock nut from turning by holding it with your fingers or with a 15mm spanner. Flip the caliper towards the top and remove the pads. You can slip them off by pushing them away from the disc. Using a wire brush, clean the noise dampening shims of the caliper on one side of the disc and then on the other. Put the caliper back into the initial position. Tip: attach a piece of electrical cable or a piece of string to one of the coils on the suspension spring. With a 13mm socket wrench, take off the upper caliper mounting bolt. Once removed, this should free the caliper. To avoid damaging the brake hose, attach it to the suspension using the cable you have already attached. To unblock the disc, insert a thin flathead screwdriver that can slip in between the two sides of the disc. You have to insert it in front of the brake caliper mount so that it butts up against the latter. Using a 40mm Torx socket, undo the two screws that hold the disc. Withdraw the screwdriver. Depending on the state of the nuts of the brake caliper mount, it may be necessary to use a hammer to loosen them. Using a T-handle and an 18mm socket, loosen the first two screws that fasten the brake caliper mount. To save time, finish taking them off using a socket wrench. Take off the brake caliper mount. Finish by removing the screws that fasten the disc on so you can completely take it off. Clean the hub with a wire brush once that is done. And coat it with copper grease. This will help avoid deterioration caused by oxidation and aid with future interventions. Before posing the new disc, it is vital to clean it using brake cleaner and paper towels to take off the storage paraffin. However, if the new disc is painted, you can pose it directly. Place the new disc onto the hub and rescrew the two fastening screws by hand as much as possible. Put the cover back on, screwing by hand to begin with, and finish with a wrench and an 18mm socket to fix it completely. Reuse the screwdriver technique to stop the rotation of the disc. This will allow you to fully tighten the fastening screw of said disc. Replace the caliper and put it back in place. Start by first screwing the upper caliper mounting bolt, and as always, start the process by hand and finish with a wrench to fully fix it in place. Coat the edges of the new pads with copper grease. And slide them into the brake caliper mount. You can now fully pose the caliper and screw the lower caliper mounting bolt back on. Don't forget to use the new screw provided, which has been pre-coated with thread locker. Don't forget to withdraw the electrical cable or string that you attached to hold the caliper. You can then repeat the same process on the other side. Put the wheels of your vehicle back on and lower it to the ground. Before starting your car, don't forget to screw the brake fluid stopper back in. Attention! Before using your vehicle again, start your car and pump the brake pedal a few times to bring the brake pads together again. Try to drive smoothly and avoid sudden braking for the first 50 kilometers or so to avoid immobilizing the new pads. Operation completed.